Coming up, fall foliage from coast to coast. Trees are undergoing a spectacular color-changing effect. Why do leaves change colors in the fall? We'll explain. Then inspiring kids. One 8-year-old trades birthday presents for donations to assist families impacted by recent hurricanes. Plus, monkey business. We're in Tennessee with our picture of the week. Also, Halloween Helpers, one organization on a mission to make sure some kids have a happy Halloween.
We've given away more than almost 25,000 costumes since we started in 2009.
Making history. LeBron James and his son Bronny make history in the NBA. And piece by piece.
Quiet on the set.
Hey, Pharrell.
Hey, how you doing, man? You know what'd be cool is if we told my story with Lego pieces.
Star Pharrell Williams is out with a new movie about his life told in a very unique way.
Why did Legos feel like the right move to make to create a movie about expressing your life?
I want to do something crazy and unheard of, like doing it in Lego. And so that's how I got to that place.
This is NBC Nightly News, Kids Edition.
Welcome back to Nightly News Kids Edition. It's great to be with you. We have a wonderful lineup ahead, including the WNBA champs and a World Series preview on both coasts. Plus, we'll put you to the test in this week's pop quiz. And a little later on, Pharrell Williams speaks with our Kids Edition correspondent Joaquin about his new movie and how kids can find their own superpower.
Do you have any advice for kids that think they're the odd one out?
I think it's very important for kids to understand that which makes you different is what makes you special. You know, you might have insecurities, but don't let those things hold you captive. What matters is who you are and you being special and you being different.
But first, let's begin with the fall season. One of the highlights of autumn, aside from, of course, Halloween, is the changing leaves, splashes of red, yellow, and orange, creating some amazing views in many parts of the country. But have you ever wondered why leaves change colors this time of year? Our good pal, Dr. John Torres, explains.
Reds, yellows, oranges, and sometimes even purple. As we say goodbye to the green, all these other colors start to emerge. But to understand why leaves change, we have to go back to the beginning and understand why trees even have leaves. Why do trees have leaves? What do the leaves do for trees?
Leaves are the powerhouse. They both make the energy and ship it off to the rest of the tree.
Leaves have cells containing chlorophyll, which gives it that green color. Chlorophyll helps the leaf absorb energy from sunlight, then uses that energy to feed the tree. But in the fall, we get less sunlight and it gets colder. Those light and temperature changes make this job more difficult for the leaves. So the chlorophyll breaks down and the green disappears. The tree takes all the nutrients from the leaves to store for winter and then drops the leaves to protect itself from the cold and snow.
The big thing is trees can't move, so they have to deal with winter differently than other kinds of life, things like animals or people.
But did you know that leaves aren't naturally green? The chlorophyll produces that green color, and when that goes away, it reveals the natural color of the leaves, which are those yellows and oranges we see. Why are there so many colors?
Because trees are awesome. If you look at different kinds of trees, if you take an oak and a maple, or even an oak and a pine, kind of like people, everybody's different and they've learned to kind of live life in their own special way. Different kind of trees have the same thing.
But the red color, that's still a little mystery for scientists.
The red is a bit different though. So some of the colors are always there, but just hidden by the green. But the reds are special and they're actually produced as the fall goes on to help with that process of breaking down the green.
Not all trees go through these changes. Deciduous trees are the ones that have leaves that change color and fall off in autumn. However, evergreens have needle-like leaves that don't adhere to the same schedule. Why don't the needles on evergreens fall off or change color?
It's a different strategy. So they actually do change color and fall off, but it's not the same kind of grand display that we get from those broadleaf deciduous trees. They happen often in the spring or kind of gradually throughout the year to make room for the next wave of growth. So it happens, it just happens at a much slower pace.
Depending where you live, the leaves may change at different times. Does the color of the leaves or how bright those colors are tell us anything about the health of the tree?
In general, yes. Healthy trees tend to produce brighter colors.
So take a walk or take a drive to enjoy the stunning colors before they disappear.
Dr. John Torres, thanks very much. You gotta love those fall colors. Okay, now to another story in the news. Remember last week we talked about climate change and how some families who live in parts of the southeast were hit hard by recent hurricanes. Well, one boy from South Carolina wanted to help those affected by Hurricane Helene. We get details from our friend Rahema Ellis in this week's Inspiring Kids story.
Meet Grant Acevedo from Greenville, South Carolina. He just celebrated his 8th birthday, but instead of presents, Grant had another idea.
We're watching the news and realized what devastation had happened around our area and in western North Carolina.
Tonight, rescue and recovery operations.
And Grant came up with the idea to, instead of give birthday presents for his birthday this year, to donate funds to the Red Cross.
That's right. Grant wanted to help those in need who were impacted by the recent hurricane.
Some people out there needed water, food, but they didn't have that right now.
To know that those things are going on in his mind and in his heart, and that's kind of priceless.
So, with the help of his parents, Grant started a GoFundMe and asked friends, family, and neighbors to donate instead of giving him birthday gifts.
Well, Grant, come on in. I hear it's your birthday today.
And guess what? Grant raised over $2,000 and donated it to the American Red Cross. A young boy with a big heart, giving back to the community.
Happy birthday!
Rahema, thanks very much, and way to go, Grant. Great job. Well, let's turn now to sports and stories making headlines. Earlier this week, the New York Liberty won their first WNBA championship, defeating the Minnesota Lynx 67-62 in a thrilling overtime victory. That's awesome. Meantime, LeBron James and his son Bronny James made some history on opening night Tuesday as the first father-son duo to play in an NBA game together. Bronny made his debut on the court with his dad with 4 minutes remaining in the second quarter of the Los Angeles Lakers' victory over the Minnesota Timberwolves. And for all you baseball fans, the World Series is about to get underway between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the New York Yankees. We asked our own Kids Edition correspondents, who are both big fans, to give us a preview.
Lester, this is Akshay Adams. Everyone in the city is fired up for the World Series, and we're all repping our Dodger blue. Last time the Dodgers won the World Series was in Texas, but because it was in Texas, we didn't get a chance to celebrate in our home city, in our home stadium. This will also honor the legacy of the great Fernando Valenzuela, who pitched in his rookie year, and we crushed the Yankees in that World Series. If we won this year, it'd be the best way to honor his legacy.
Thank you, Lester. So today we are here in the Bronx, Yankee Stadium, the best stadium in baseball. See, in a couple of hours, the World Series will kick off. The important thing about this World Series is that it's the first time in history that 3 MVPs in the span of their lifetime are going to be playing. Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, and Mookie Betts. This is legendary. This is going to be an iconic World Series, and I think this will be the best World Series in a long time, especially for people like me. I'm only 13 years old. I have never seen the Yankees win a World Series before, and imagine how this is going to affect all the other kids that were born in 2011, 2012, 2013 that have only dreamed of seeing the Yankees win the World Series in their life. This is going to be an iconic moment, and I would like to say again, thank you so much, Lester, for letting me enjoy this moment out here in the Bronx in front of Yankee Stadium.
That was terrific, guys. Thanks so much for the preview. Okay, time now for our pop quiz, and in keeping with the baseball theme, the question this week: who won the first World Series? Was it A, the New York Giants, B, Boston Americans, or C, Pittsburgh Pirates? Let me give you a few seconds here to think about it. Okay, time's up. The answer is B, the Boston Americans. The first World Series was played back in 1903. The Boston Americans, who eventually became the Boston Red Sox, beat the Pittsburgh Pirates. Okay, let's head to Tennessee now for our picture of the week. The Chattanooga Zoo is celebrating 2 new additions, a pair of adorable pied tamarins. These 2 small monkeys were born last month, and we're told they're doing just fine. The pied tamarin has a small hairless face and large ears. And here's a fun fact. These monkeys live in highly family-oriented groups of 4 to 15, led by a female. The zoo says because these monkeys are also critically endangered, their birth at the zoo is even more significant. Well, if you are a fan of music, movies, or Legos, this next segment is for you. Pharrell Williams is the artist and producer behind so many popular songs you probably know and love. And now Pharrell has a new film out. It's called Piece by Piece, and it's all about his life told in a really special way. Our kids correspondent Joaquin caught up with Pharrell in this week's Kids Spotlight. Take a look.
You probably know Pharrell Williams from hits like Happy off the Despicable Me 2 soundtrack. Over the course of his career, Pharrell has worked with some of the biggest artists around the world, like Beyonce, Justin Timberlake, and Usher. And now, the incredible story of Pharrell's life and career are being told in this new vibrant film, Piece by Piece.
Go ahead on the set. Hey, Pharrell.
Hey, how you doing, man? You know, it'd be cool is if we told my story with Lego pieces.
And get this, the whole movie is made of Legos.
Congratulations on the movie and amazing soundtrack.
Whoa, thank you so much, man.
Why did Legos feel like the right move to make to create a movie about expressing your life?
Well, first of all, I was never interested in my story because for me, I pride myself in doing things based on like curiosity, because that's what drives me. And there's nothing out that I was curious about myself. You know, it's kind of like looking in the mirror. You know everything about yourself, right? So like, why would you want to do that? And then it was like, oh, okay, well then maybe I could look at this differently. Maybe it would be a project that would be less about reflection and more of an opportunity for me to be creative. And I thought about it differently. I want to do something crazy and unheard of, like doing it in Lego.
Always a creator and interested in music as a kid, Pharrell got his big break at a school talent show when a chance encounter brought a top music producer, Teddy Riley, to his hometown of Virginia Beach.
I never got over that, and I still feel that to this day, right now. I can't believe the universe has given me the opportunity to make mistakes, the opportunity to learn, the opportunity to take it in stride and be better, and continue to give me all these experiences that are so vivid. So I'm just always so honored by it.
Today, Pharrell has become one of the most impressive music producers, and piece by piece, we hear some of the amazing artists he's collaborated with, including Snoop Dogg, who said it was Pharrell who helped him see a more playful side of himself.
Snoop said you were always the one who brought out a smile. Do you have any advice to like bringing out good vibes?
I was honored by that. I never thought that I would ever be good enough to make a song with him. The fact that I was able to, and they had such an impact on his career, as per him, I was just honored.
It's hard to imagine now, but for a long time, Pharrell didn't even realize his own gifts.
I didn't even know that I was mesmerized. I just thought that's what all black kids did. I thought we all just stared into the speaker like, whoa.
In the movie, it explained that your grandma saw things in you that you didn't see for yourself.
Yeah.
How does your grandma's encouragement help you even throughout these recent years?
Grandmas are like, they're everything, man.
Yeah.
Everything. For me, I just hold so dearly all of my memories. Hold on to every memory you have for the rest of your life. As vivid as you can hold them in your mind, cherish them, because I take my grandma with me and my grandma's memories with me everywhere I go.
Pharrell is now teaching us many of the lessons he's learned over the course of his life.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
That feels great.
I firmly believe that everybody has talent, beauty, and potential.
Most importantly, piece by piece, we can all tap into our own individuality and make it our superpower.
You thought you were an odd child and it crushed your spirit. Do you have any advice for kids that think they're the odd one out?
I think it's very important for kids to understand that which makes you different is what makes you special. You know, you might have insecurities, but don't let those things hold you captive. What matters is who you are and you being special and you being different. And when you're around people that continue to like poke fun or do whatever, then you don't need to be around them. They don't matter, man. They only matter in their little small world. But your world is big, your world is expansive, and your world loves and appreciates. And most importantly, your world needs you.
You can't be me, I'm a rock star.
This song is ridiculous.
Who did that? Pharrell.
Man, this is gonna be a Lego movie, bruh.
For Nightly News Kids Edition, I'm Joaquin. Back to you, Lester.
Joaquin, thanks very much. We should note that Piece by Piece is distributed by Focus Features, which is owned by our parent company, NBC Universal. Finally, Halloween is just days away, and there's one small but mighty team out collecting costumes for kids whose families are struggling, just in time for this spectacular day. Let's get details from our friend Daniel Lamb.
When spooky season comes around, imaginations can run wild.
What are you gonna be?
Elsa. Oh my gosh, it's Miss Incredible. I actually want to be her.
To the busy, yep, yeah.
It gives you that one opportunity per year at least to be whoever you want to be, dress up the way you want to dress up, and be your most creative self.
But while some kids might be facing tough choices about their costume for Halloween, others may be wondering if they will even have a costume at all. The cost of dressing up can add up, especially for families with lots of kids. That's where the Halloween helpers come to the rescue. All year long, they collect lightly used and outgrown costumes and then send them to community organizations all over the country. Then these local groups distribute costumes to kids and families in their communities, just in time for Halloween. Some of them hold big giveaway parties where kids can explore and choose their favorite costumes. Emma Shapiro came up with the idea for the Halloween Helpers when she was just 11 years old for her bat mitzvah project.
I was cleaning my closet and I noticed I had a lot of old dance recital costumes and Halloween costumes that I wanted to give a second life.
From there, the idea came to life. Now, the Halloween Helpers is in its 16th year.
We heard from many parents who said, you know what, it was either putting gas in my car to get to work or buying a Halloween costume. And we decided that, you know, we needed to go to work.
Every year, the costumes just kept coming in. We couldn't even store them at points. So, and we would have to get warehouses to store the costumes.
We've given away more than almost 25,000 costumes since we started in 2009.
And this year, Halloween Helpers gave away more than 4,200 costumes to more than 24 community organizations across the country. All they ask for in return? It's photos.
I cry every time I see these kids in the costumes. I feel like I've done a very small part to make them happy, to make them joyous, to make them celebrate this one holiday. I just think it's great that these kids can be just like every other kid across the country and wear a costume, celebrate Halloween, and do everything that every kid in this country should be doing.
The Halloween Helpers are a small but mighty team made up of Emma, her sister Molly, and mom Elise, proving it only takes a little to make a big difference.
If you have an idea, don't be afraid to communicate it, and be not only an advocate for others and those around you and people of maybe all different shapes and sizes, be an advocate for yourself. And I think that is the biggest lesson. No matter how much I'm helping others and it feels great to me and it's rewarding for me, it's all about helping others. And that is just the greatest gift, is knowing how many people you've affected with this one small gesture.
There are people out there who need food, who need everything, who need housing, who need clothing. When you are done with something, everything has a second and third life.
Celebrating the spirit of Halloween by giving back.
Happy Halloween!
Daniel, thanks so much for bringing us that great story. That is going to do it for us, parents. Just a reminder, if your child has a question about any topic in the news, email a video to us at nightlynewskids@nbcuni.com, and we'll try to answer them in an upcoming episode. You can also follow us on Instagram @NightlyKids. Thanks for watching, and remember to take care of yourself and each other. So long.